Somebody might say, well, since you decoded this place, why not just use it to get rich? Well, it wasn't really to get rich. I'm rich in knowledge, rich in spirit. Rich in the truth. If you got salvation, you're rich beyond words, you know. You know, a woman wants you to go out and spend all this money on a flower. What if you go out and pick them? Isn't that better? Some women, you know. The reproduction process just keeps happening. And it just seems to be, I mean, I actually believe that the more the devil tries to take out the human, the more the population grows, right? That's what it looks like to me. The Illuminati want to have wars to do their little Illuminati sacrifice. This is probably going to melt before I get to the house. I went over there and got some food and got me a couple mints. Anyway, back to the code. What does the code do? Yeah, you might could use it to get rich, write a book, and go into. You might could get rich with it, but it's not about getting rich. It's about giving you peace. Once you see this all coded, you know that God is in control. Everything that man's doing or trying to do or thinks that he's doing, actually what's happening is God's doing it through man. Whether it's technology or inventions or whatever, God is doing it through man. Man's really not doing anything. He's doing it, but it's God working through him. It's actually revealing technology and like these gutters, this gutter system, drainage system. It's all pointing to Jesus, and all knowledge is from God. Jesus is God. Most people don't even know what that is. Even though most of mankind is just out to have fun and go to some events, go to all these different events and all that stuff. In order to make one event happen, look at the trash can. Imagine how much trash is created in one event. Just to make something happen takes a lot of effort. it's almost imperative, or if that's the right word, I'm not sure if that's the right word or not, but it's almost a necessity that man would invent stuff to make life easier, because as the population grows, you have to have more technology to feed more people, you know, and to house more people. It's actually a trip if you really think about it. It's all connected. So back to, I mean, it is hot out here right now, especially on this concrete. Back to what I was saying about you're in the Bible, and to think that you're not is delusion. The self doesn't really exist. You're either in Christ or you're not. And if you're outside of Christ, you do have the mindset of self. But even then, God sustains you. God would have all men to come to the knowledge of the truth, you know, to be saved and come to the knowledge of the truth. Men and women. At one point, I used to wonder, can women be saved? Because they just act crazy. But I know some saved women online. In the real world, I haven't run across too many women that looked like they were saved, but maybe it's because you don't really talk to them on a deep level, you know. But most people in the real world, you talk to them and for a minute and you're like, even if you go to church and you sit down and talk to somebody, it's like everything out of their mouth is the world, you know. But you're stuck in the book of Acts or Revelation 2 and 3. Because in Revelation 4, you see the rapture. AI says it thinks we're stuck in Revelation 2 and 3. I was thinking we were stuck in the book of Acts, you know, at the end of it or something, in between. There's this movie, a cartoon movie that went out, one of Alex Jones' old friends. And at the end of the movie, he's at a pinball machine and he's asking this kid, he said, have you ever wondered, maybe we're just in a repeat and God is just waiting for us to say yes? We just keep going around the same cycle over and over until God is just waiting for us to say yes. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was like some guy at the beginning, the guy's floating up in the air like he's like some of these people they're trying to open their third eye and all. They're looking for the truth, and this guy's teleporting out of his body and looking around. And he runs across, I think it's Linkletter, I think is the guy's last name that wrote the movie. Something Linkletter. But you keep going around your cycle, routine, repeat, and you're just waiting for God to say, and God is waiting for you to say yes. You just keep going around and around and around your routine. And as God is just waiting for you to take up your cross, die to self, you know. There's a lot of people believing but they still have one foot in the world, thinking the world is going to give them peace and happiness and joy, and they just keep going around the mountain. They run from one person to the next person to the next person, thinking that's going to give them happiness or joy, and they get bored with that person, they're mad, or fighting and arguing, then they go find somebody else, and they get a hard heart. Every time they go to another person, they get a hard heart, you know. They have one breakup, and they run to somebody else, they get a hard heart. They have another breakup, they run to somebody else, and a harder heart, you know. The heart gets harder. Instead of them getting by themselves and seeking God and getting their heart right, they think that mankind or womankind can make you happy. And everybody's in their little house watching the YouTube or TikTok or something. I don't know what's going on here, but it looks kind of rough, don't it? It's so hot you can't get out here and do nothing, and you're so busy. Everybody's so busy paying the bills, they don't have time to. You just got to make time, though. You got to make it happen. So if you're in the Bible, and you are, why not learn what it's saying? Understand the dispensations, understand your purpose for being created and why you're here and what's happening, what's going to happen, and what you already know the future. The more you study the Word, the more free you get, because nobody can deceive you and play games with you because you've already seen the game. You already know the future.